Hi, can you believe that the sitcom The Partridge Family was released 55 years ago? In this video, you will see how have the actors of the movie The Partridge Family changed. You will know their real names and age. I will show you how they looked then, in 1970, and what's with them now, in 2025. Okay, let's go. Suzanne Crough as Tracy Partridge. Suzanne Crough is another honorable mention actor of The Partridge Family, as she sadly passed away suddenly in 2015 at the age of 52. She played the role of the youngest sibling, Tracy, at the age of 7. Following her role in The Partridge Family, she made several guest appearances on various TV shows, including Mulligan's Stew. Her last known role was in the TV movie Children of Divorce in 1980. Post-acting, she would graduate from Los Angeles Pierce College and operate a bookstore until 1993. She did participate in a reunion interview with her Partridge Family co-stars in 2010, noting that she was then a manager at an Office Max in Bullhead City, Arizona. Dave Madden as Reuben Kincaid. Age filming, 39 years old. Dave Madden also deserves an honorable mention as he passed away in 2014 at age 82 from complications of myelodysplastic syndrome. He played the role of Reuben Kincaid in The Partridge Family. In 1951, Dave dropped out of college and enlisted in the Air Force. He was sent to Libya, where he was very successful as an entertainer in camp shows. In 1965, Dave scored a great role on Camp Runamuck and was also series regular on Laugh-In, performing in 24 outrageous episodes. His last known acting venture, which was actually a voice role in the short adventures in Odyssey, The Last Days of Eugene Meltzner, in the year 2000. David Cassidy as Keith Partridge. Age filming, 20 years old. David Cassidy, who played the role of Keith, unfortunately passed away in 2017 from liver and kidney failure, but rightfully deserves an honorable mention. Cassidy was just 20 years old when he became Keith Partridge, the band's lead singer, and eldest Partridge child. It just so happened that a casting director saw him perform, and Cassidy was quickly signed by Universal Studios. By 1969, David was nabbing guest spots in hit shows like Mod Squad and the wildly popular Bonanza. He was known as a 70s heartthrob while in The Partridge Family, and in his later years, guest starred in a number of TV shows including CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. He starred in the series David Cassidy, Man Undercover, 1978 to 1979, and Ruby and the Rockets, 2009. However, the stark contrast from the heights of Keith Partridge to the lackluster Hollywood success that followed further pushed Cassidy to the brink. He suffered from alcoholism and drug abuse. Cassidy also had multiple DUIs in the 2010s, and his vices ultimately contributed to liver failure, which became his cause of death in 2017 at the age of 67. Danny Bonaduce as Danny Partridge. Age filming, 11 years old. Wisecracking Danny Partridge sported the unmistakable head of flaming red hair. He was the group's bass player, also lending his voice for the family band, with singing and his smart aleck remarks. Despite the wholesome chapter with the Partridge Clan, by Bonaduce's account, his own upbringing was strained. At just 8 years old, Bonaduce got his first role on the short-lived Jerry Van Dyke-led show, Accidental Family. At age 10, he was cast in a few episodes on Mayberry RFD starring Ken Berry, and even 2 episodes on Bewitched. The following year, in 1970, Danny became a Partridge, and quickly became as recognizable as they come. Several decades later, his Partridge legacy earned Bonaduce, now 63, a former child star, Lifetime Achievement Award. Danny's career had a bit of everything. Sadly, and similar to David Cassidy, Bonaduce struggled with drug addiction and alcoholism. He is a black belt in karate and is currently married to his third wife, Amy Railsback, who he wed in 2010. Bonaduce, 65, announced his retirement following the June 2023 news he would be undergoing hydrocephalus-related surgery after experiencing difficulty walking and maintaining his balance. Susan Day as Laurie Partridge. Susan Day, who played the role of Laurie Partridge, was a teen model and at 17 joined the Partridge Clan. Her character cared a lot about relevant, worldly topics, and Day was just the girl to express this deeper side to the show. Post-Partridge, Day frequented many hit TV shows, like Barnaby Jones in Hawaii 5-0. Susan, now 72, was considered for the role of Sandy in Grease in '78. And 1986 got perhaps the biggest break of her career, even surpassing the Partridge Family. With her role in L.A. Law, the gig would win the actress 3 Emmy nominations, and 1 Golden Globe victory out of 5 nominations. She has kept herself busy otherwise, being a board member with UCLA Medical Center's Rape Treatment Center. Brian Forster as Chris Partridge. Age filming, 10 years old. Brian Forster, 65, played the role of Christopher Partridge, though he wasn't the first one to play the character. That honor goes to Jeremy Gelbwaks, who departed the show after 1 season. Season 2 ushered in Brian Forster as Chris Partridge. Born in 1960, Forster wasn't even a teen when he joined the family band as their drummer. He didn't really act after being Chris Partridge, his career taking a sharp turn. Literally, since the show's end, Forster has actually dabbled in race car driving and occasional acting outside of Hollywood. His last known role was his appearance of Chris Partridge in the TV series Break a Leg in 2008. But Forster kept his fingers in the acting pie all the while, but on a smaller scale with community theater. Rick Segall as Rick Stevens. Born March 10, 1969, Rick Segall played the role of Rick Stevens, the character who was part of the Partridge family's circle. Rick was the love interest of Laurie Partridge, and he made a memorable appearance on the show during its early seasons. Rick Segall was known for his charming presence and classic 1970s look, with his shaggy hair and trendy, laid-back style that was typical of the era. His character added a youthful energy to the show and was part of the family's musical adventures. Now he is 56. Jeremy Gelbwaks as Christopher Chris Partridge. Age filming, 9 years old. Jeremy Gelbwaks played Christopher, Chris, Partridge, the youngest member of the Partridge family. In the first season of the Partridge Family, Chris was portrayed as the cute, innocent younger brother, part of the family's musical ensemble. Gelbwaks played the role from 1970-1971, but after the first season, he was replaced by Brian Forster, who continued to play Chris Partridge for the remainder of the series. Now he is 64. Shirley Jones as Shirley Renfrew Partridge. Age filming, 36 years old. Jones was the matriarch of the Partridge family clan, taking on the role of widowed mother of 5 Shirley Renfrew Partridge. Funnily enough, Shirley proved an integral part of the Partridge family, even when the show was still in the works. Born in 1934, she made a career out of embracing the role of a kind, reliable figure in numerous titles, many being musical projects that allowed her to show off her vocal range. That talent became apparent to the famous composers Rodgers and Hammerstein, who took note of Shirley in an audition. By 1955, she earned a spot as the female lead in the movie adaptation of Oklahoma. Since the TV series, Shirley, 91, has starred in a number of TV series, although her activity in the film and TV industry has slowed in recent years. Her last film was 2018's Eco-Teens Save the World.